Hello?
Good day, Gabrielle. Your mission is to bring together a group of kids from across the island to inform, motivate, educate, and entertain their parents. Do you accept?
Yes, I accept.
Aunt Carol, all the agents have completed their mission. I will now get updates and provide them to you. Jamaica was the first country to sign and agree with the Convention of the United Nations Right of the Child in 1991. That was almost 30 years ago. There is a popular saying that children are the future, but what about the now? If you don't treat us well now, what will the future be when we are the adults? The future looks bleak for us if our country keeps on this present path of violence. The issue was outlined in a historic sitting of Jamaica's parliament. It was the first time that children addressed Jamaica's leaders in parliament. As we look to the future, we must be heard. Agent Ayana, your mission is to let everyone hear what was said in parliament. Were any solutions given as to how we can create a brighter future?
The opening statement of the historic sitting of the Parliament was made by children's advocate Diane Gordon Harrison.
As this special sitting has once again highlighted the leading role that Jamaica continues to play throughout the region on matters related to children. Undoubtedly, this is history in the making. As never before have children from all walks of life had the opportunity to directly address the full sitting of Parliament in this way. Dr. Howard Taylor, the Executive Director for the Global Partnership to End Violence Against Children, will also join in this very significant endeavor. As your children's advocate, I stand here today being unequivocally grateful and pleased to be leading this Commission of Parliament that has been vested with the very important mandate of safeguarding the rights of children in our island home, and also being vested with the responsibility to take steps that meaningfully promote their best interests.
Once Ms. Gordon Harrison made her statement, the children took the floor. They shared stories of acts of violence in homes, schools, and communities.
My name is Ngozi, and I am 7 years old. Thank you for letting us be the very first group of children in Jamaican history to stand here and present to you. With me are Tafari, who is also 7, Kino, who is 10, and Shanil, who is 18, and spent most of her childhood in state care. We are here today as advocates for a violence-free Jamaica. We love our country, but we hate the violence that is hurting the bodies, minds, and spirits of Jamaican children. We hate the violence that is making children so afraid, the violence that is taking their lives. We are very concerned about what is happening to our children and what is happening into your children.
Honorable adults, listen to us, please. Many of us are afraid to go to school, afraid to go home, afraid to go outside in our communities. We live in fear that we will be the next victims of violence.
Over the last 3 months, almost 300 children in 3 parishes spoke up about violence at sessions organized by UNICEF, the Office of the Children's Advocate, and Talk Up Youth. We learned about the rights we have in the Convention on the Rights of the Child, and we reasoned about what it means to have these rights, like the right to share our thoughts as we are here doing today. Let me bring you into our world. I will now read some of the experiences of violence that were shared by children at these sessions. This is what they wrote in their own words. Number 1. Between the age of 5 to 10, I was exposed to physical abuse. It was a case where I had been beaten to the point where it felt like nothing to me. Her excuse for beating me so harshly was that she was trying to discipline me, but still it didn't cover up for her scars that are left from her gruesome disciplinary actions that are still haunting me today. Number 2, I have seen gunmen kill men. Number 3, I have been sexually abused by my father's friend. Number 4, I have seen parents verbally, emotionally, and physically abuse their child or children because of their reports. The children were told that they were worthless and would not turn out to be anything good in life. This left the children feeling unwanted, deserted, and some even started to feel suicidal. Number 6, my grandmother lives in a very bad community. Number 5, dear Prime Minister, where I live there are a lot of pedophiles, so I'm afraid of going to the shops when it's dark. Number 6, my grandmother lives in a very bad community, and sometimes I have to stay with her. Gunshots are fired very often. Most of the times it's with the intention of killing someone. Often shots are fired very close to her house. I have witnessed multiple drive-by shootings, stabbings, and people being killed at her doorstep. At my age, these things are very terrifying. These are only 6 of the hundreds of experiences that were shared by children just in the last 3 months. At every one of these sessions, most of the children had either experienced or witnessed violence. This means a lot of children in Jamaica are dealing with a lot of pain. Research from around the world shows that this kind of trauma can have negative effects on all aspects of a child's development, and it can have a lasting impact. Children who have been traumatized by violence have higher risks of school dropout, drug abuse, depression, diabetes, heart disease, and involvement with violence and crime. I don't want to live in a Jamaica where the children are so hurt by violence that they grow up to hurt themselves or to hurt other people. Do you?
I have been a ward of the state since I was 11 years old. Both of my parents died when I was 3. This resulted in me living with my grandparents. I can remember it like it was yesterday, the first time my grandfather abused me sexually. This started at about age 5 and continued to about age 9. I was taken advantage of by the person who should have loved me and protected me the most. I did not tell anyone because at that time I did not understand what was happening. My grandmother seemed to be aware of what was happening, but up to this day I still don't understand why she stopped. She did not stop it. When I came to Kingston, a family member used to ask me whenever I visited her if my grandfather was touching me. She asked me this question a few times before, and every time I told her no. Not because I was afraid, but because I was confused about what was happening to me, because no one took the time to tell me about good touch and bad touch. When I was 10, I finally told her about it. That is when she explained why she had been asking me so often. He did it to me too, she said. So both of us had stayed silent. Now, imagine all the 9-year-olds who are being silent right now. Imagine your daughter or your son is silently living in a nightmare like this. My trauma kept on coming back every time I had to be in court. Every time I had to face my grandfather for 3 years in court, which brought back all the pain from the past. This destroyed me the most. I share my story here today for every girl or every boy in Jamaica who is subjected to sexual violence. And they are everywhere. There are children who are keeping horrible secrets in Upper St. Andrew, in downtown Kingston, and all across rural Jamaica. I know these children are in pain. After my ordeal, I got to the point where I didn't care about anything in life. I felt as if my life was destroyed forever. I wanted to give up, and I even tried ending my life on several occasions.
The children at town hall sessions held across the island came up with a number of things they think will help stop the violence.
Stop taking children's voices so lightly and listen to what they have to say. Number 2, children want parents to get help so they can be better parents. Children ask for more parenting education to take place within and outside their communities. They ask specifically for parents to be taught about other ways to discipline children instead of corporal punishment. Number 3, children want stricter enforcement of laws for those who abuse children. Many children do not feel confident that people who commit violence against children are being prosecuted. Number 4, children want better relationships with the security forces. There were many recommendations for a stronger presence of security forces, both police and the army, in communities, including regular walkthroughs.
Hey, big man, love the liquor picnic. Go on with your sweetie, you can't trick me. Take your old car and go on where you are go. Pervert, me no wanna drive from you. Pervert, me no wanna drive from you. God gives to mankind little children. Stars we a shine, don't kill them. Murderer! You a got burn in a hell. You touch a little picnic, me a go tell. Kids don't talk to no stranger. Run and scream in a danger. From your earth children, electric chair. Those who agree, put your hand in the ear. Those who agree, put your hand in the ear. So, hey, big man, love the liquor picnic. Go on with the sweetie, you can't trick me.
There is also a call for the launch of a national anti-bullying campaign and putting in place a toll-free 24-hour counseling service so us children can truly be our country's future. I'm Iguana, mission accomplished.
The stories we hear about crime and criminal activities make us worried about the safety of our parents and ourselves. We can all breathe a sigh of relief soon. Jamaica's Minister of National Security, the head of the Jamaica Defense Force, and the police commissioner have taken steps to reduce crime and make us feel safe. Agent Ajani, your mission is to tell us what are the plans being used to reduce crime that will make us all feel safe.
Safety is the key for the country's crime fighters.
We will be imposing intensified safety and security measures over the next 8 weeks in particular across Jamaica. These additional measures are part of our overall crime management strategy and will see a significant ramping up of police presence, particularly in the commercial districts and public spaces. This will be accompanied by other strategic, targeted, and intelligence-driven security operations to bolster public safety, maintain public order, deter acquisitive and violent crimes, and further disrupt the gangs that are the source of much of the crimes. These intensified safety and security measures are being put in place so that law-abiding Jamaicans can feel safe going about their daily lives and making their preparations for the end of this year activities. At this time of the year, people tend to want to celebrate irrespective of their challenges and should be able to do so without apprehension wherever they are. I have requested that the Commissioner of Police, supported by the Chief of Defence Staff and the instruction of the Prime Minister, put in place the requisite systems to reassure the people of Jamaica that everything is being done to intensify the work of the security forces in order to ensure public safety and good order.
To better patrol and keep us safe, more policemen on foot will be in shopping malls, bus parks, and your community.
Over the last 24 months, the government has taken strong steps to achieve strategic outcomes related to reducing the rate of violent crimes, combating corruption, improving police efficiency, interrupting gangs and particularly those involved in illicit transnational activities, restoring public order, and increasing public safety.
There will also be an elite quick response police motorcycle team.
I have to thank the members of the JCF for their commitment and their continued commitment. I know it's going to be difficult over the next couple of months. And of course, in order to keep you safe, we have to be at work. We can't afford to enjoy the Yuletide season and that with our families, we have to be out there protecting everybody else. So I know our members always step up when called upon to do so. So I'm calling again for persons to, our own members, to do what you do best and protect and serve and be a force for good in Jamaica. It's a challenging time, but we can do it. And if there's one thing I'd like to emphasize at the end, is not only the great support we're getting from a policy support and resource support from the minister, but significant actual support on the ground from the Jamaica Defence Force. They have been a great partner to us.
As part of its role in supporting the Jamaica Constabulary Force during these special security operations, the Jamaica Defence Force has taken a number of steps aimed at maximizing the effect of our activities. A joint task force has been established to deliver this support to the police in a number of hotspots and police divisions across the island. The joint task force is essentially an amalgamation of and reorganization of units and resources of the force. The goal here is to maintain a highly mobile and visible presence in these areas in order to deter criminal activities. Unfortunately, we cannot give the exact details, but rest assured it will place members of the security forces where they are most effective and most needed. One of the most significant features of this joint task force is the incorporation of over 400 new Jamaica National Service Corps graduates. These new soldiers have been extensively trained and are highly committed to playing their part and making their presence felt as a part of Jamaica's overall security infrastructure. We have very high expectations of them. In addition to the bolstered troop numbers as a result of the Jamaica National Service Corps graduates, we will also be committing the full gamut of our intelligence capabilities and some specialized equipment and resources to support and sustain continuous operations over the period. This will result in more snap raids, more patrols, more checkpoints, and overall more soldiers and police in the affected communities. We expect that our increased operations will assist the police in targeting and arresting and/or detaining gang members and other persons of interest while denying them the freedom of movement to carry out illegal activities. We will be especially vigilant in preserving secure public spaces, especially in and around commercial areas where persons are vulnerable to various types of crimes. I expect that law-abiding Jamaicans will warmly receive this initiative and will continue to support the security forces as they have so far.
Those are the plans being done by security heads to make Jamaica a safe place for all of us. I am Agent Ajani. Mission accomplished.
The holidays is a great time for us as children, but it can also be dangerous. Agent Raquel, your mission is to get other agents, huddle, identify and share tips to make us feel safe during and after the holidays.
Being safe is not just the job of the police, parents, or teachers. We can also protect ourselves. How? Report bullies. Always check first with your parents or teachers before going anywhere. Do not take things from people or get in a car with anyone. Say no if someone tries to touch you. If someone grabs you, scream for help.
Don't talk to strangers. Strangers are anyone you don't know. Don't go anywhere with anyone unless your parents tell you to. If someone tries to take you, scream as loud as you can.
Do not touch or play with lamps, candles, or matches. It may cause injury or death of a family member. If possible, use battery-operated candles.
If you go in the kitchen, always say 3 omelets from the stove. In the kitchen, no matter how hungry you are, do not eat or drink anything before you ask your parents.
Parents, please don't decorate the Christmas trees with small ornaments that break easy, or place them where we can reach it. Place the ornaments and lights out of our reach at the top of the tree.
Do not agree to meet anyone in person that you met online. On the computer, do not post or give out your name, address, password, or the name of your school.
Do not post pictures of yourself on the internet without your parents' permission. I'm Agent Raquel, mission accomplished.
Iguanas are among the world's most endangered animals. Out of fear, people strike and kill them. They were declared extinct in 1948. The Jamaican iguana was rediscovered 50 years later by a pig farmer in the Helsha Hills. Agent Jedani, your mission is to tell us what's being done to protect the Jamaican iguana that was once thought to be extinct.
The Jamaica iguana was thought to be extinct. A farmer came across one of the reptiles in the Helsha Hills of St. Catherine. The Jamaica iguana is not found anywhere else in the world. It is very large and can grow up to 150 centimeters, making it Jamaica's largest native land animal.
This species is an ecosystem engineer, if you will, or a habitat manager. So basically, the iguanas are consuming important food resources, important plant species from the dry forests of Jamaica. And as those seeds pass through the gut, it actually degrades the seed coat and allows germination to happen faster and a bigger percentage of seeds to germinate. So basically, the iguanas are helping to maintain the dry forests, which are also an endangered ecosystem for the country.
To save the iguanas, the Hope Zoo in Kingston started the Iguana Head Start program. The Hope Zoo Iguana Head Start program is now world famous.
Here at the Hope Zoo, we are in charge of the Head Start program for the highly endangered Jamaican iguana. The program consists of us collecting hatchlings just after they've hatched from their sites in the wild, and we will feed them up and rear them over a number of years.
Once the tiny iguanas get to a certain size, health checks are done.
One of the main threats to the iguanas in the wild are invasive species. So we have a lot of cats and dogs and mongoose in the natural habitat for the iguanas. So what we're trying to do is make sure they're big enough to be able to defend themselves against those predators. So we want to check the mass, or how much the iguana weighs, and how long it is, how big it is from snout to vent. And then we run a quick analysis to see if it meets our minimum requirements, and then size-wise, it will be ready to go. But then we also want to do a quick check just to make sure it doesn't have any lesions, any bruising, anything that might give it a slight disadvantage once we release it into the wild.
Since the program began, over 400 young adult iguanas have been released into the wild. I am Agent Jedani, mission accomplished.
Many Jamaicans are familiar with the Jamaican poet, storyteller and playwright Louise Bennett Coverley, or Miss Lou. Miss Lou wrote and delivered her poems in Jamaican Creole or Patois. She is a cultural icon. She made Patois acceptable to many. Some want her to be named among Jamaica's national heroes for her contributions to our culture and national identity. She is buried in the National Heroes Park. Agent Kevon, your mission is to tell us about the National Heroes Park.
Located in Kingston, the National Heroes Park is the largest green space of national importance. At the entrance to the park is a war memorial to honor those who died in the First World War. At the top is a cross weighing 1.5 tons. The site was officially named the National Heroes Park in 1973 and is the location where monuments are erected to Jamaica's national heroes. The monument erected to honor national hero Norman Manley contains 12 pillars arranged in 2 circles. Mr. Manley's tomb is located at the center, topped by a 6-pointed star. Each circle is said to represent different views of Mr. Manley's life. The monument also has 2 statues, a male and a female, which are meant to symbolize the birth of a unified nation. There are also memorials to national heroes Nanny, Sam Sharp, Paul Bogue, and George William Gordon. The arches of the twin monuments to George William Gordon and Paul Bogle are shaped like 10 fingers. The finish of the arches have been roughened to symbolize hands that toiled during slavery. The centerpiece, a natural Jamaican marble boulder, is a symbol of freedom. Nanny's monument is said to give off the sound of the abeng when the wind blows. Samuel Sharp's monument is shaped like a Greek cross to honor his Baptist faith. The corners of the monument are left open as a representation of freedom. 5 former Prime Ministers of Jamaica are buried at the park. A monument shaped like an arch was erected to honor Jamaica's first Prime Minister, Sir Alexander Bustamante. The arch, which stands above Sir Alexander Bustamante's tomb, has a marble finish. The arch is a symbol of great strength. The monument to the Most Honorable Donald Sangster, Jamaica's second Prime Minister, consists of curved members turned inward and spread apart. The top of the monument is wider than the base. The design is said to symbolize Mr. Sangster's development from humble origins. The separation shows that his life work was unfinished. The monument to Jamaica's third Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Hugh Lawson Shearer, was designed with 2 wings crossing, signifying Mr. Shearer's dual achievements as trade unionist and politician. The Most Honorable Michael Manley, Jamaica's 4th Prime Minister, is also buried in the park. The surface of the monument to him is covered with slabs of black Jamaican marble. It is engraved with quotes by him on the subject of equality. Jamaica's 5th Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Edward Seaga, was buried in the park on June 23, 2019. A monument is to be erected to honor him. The park is also the burial site for a number of cultural icons, including artist and religious leader Copper Reynolds, Dennis Brown, and Louise Bennett Coverley, more affectionately called Miss Lou. There are plans to transform the park into a world-class facility. The plan includes the creation of 6 main pedestrian access gates to the park. These entrances will bear the names of the national heroes. The main gate will have the names of both Norman Manley and Alexander Bustamante. I'm Agent Cavan, mission accomplished.
Though not a national hero or a cultural icon, John Dunkley is famous. The mission: find out all there is to know about John Dunkley, who who is known across the world as one of Jamaica's intuitive artists. John Dunkley is described as one of Jamaica's greatest painters. Born in Savannah, Lamar, he suffered an accident that damaged one of his eyes at the age of 7. As a teenager, he was sent to live with his father in Panama. On his arrival, he found out his father had died and was buried one day before he landed in Panama. He found a job to help himself. Soon after, he began to paint. In 1926, when he was in his 30s, he returned to Jamaica. He opened a barbershop on Princess Street in downtown Kingston. As a self-taught artist, Dunkley spent a lot of time drawing landscapes and animals. His collection consists of 48 paintings. The paintings, which are mostly of landscapes, are usually extremely dark. Hidden in the landscape paintings are images of small animals including mongoose, rabbits, spider crabs, frogs, and birds.
I think that's really the most signature thing about Dunkley's work, and something I think everyone who's been drawn to it has really remarked on, this kind of the ambiguity, the mystery that's really contained in the images, which I think is quite metaphorical because, as you note, you see a lot, but there's so much that you feel is behind the image and so much symbolism. And he really worked with these. For instance, you'll see crabs repeated or spiders repeated, a kind of sun moon. He also does the same vegetation throughout many images. So you get this sense that he had a very honed, specific vocabulary of symbols and kind of icons that he worked with. But we, the viewer, are kind of left to unpack that. And I think that's one of the really beautiful things about the work, and one of the most important things about seeing it all together in one room is that you're allowed to kind of get a sense of this universe of visual imagery that he created, and this kind of beautiful, ambiguous space of emotion, of thought, of time that he created in these works.
Dunkley's collection shows some important times in Jamaica's history. For example, portrait of U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt's visit to Portland Bight in 1940. He also produced a small body of stone sculptures. However, the majority of his sculptures were from wood. His wood carvings include the portrait of a man, hands clasped, bent in prayer, called Old Joe. When the Sandy Gully Air Base was being looked at by President Roosevelt, Dunkley painted him. From the first piece of lignum vitae wood that was cut down, he carved an African man sitting down. Dunkley named it Sandy Gully. Woman on a Horse is my favorite. It has 2 faces. Among his works is the portrait of an elderly couple. The woman is seen with a ring. The words diamond is written at the bottom of the painting, suggesting it's her 60th or diamond wedding anniversary. Many believe John Dunkley painted it to honor himself and his wife Cassidy. The first comprehensive exhibition of John Dunkley's work was held in 2018 in the United States of America and Jamaica. Jamaica attracts families from all around the world for a number of reasons. The island combines all of the comforts of home with a wonderful experience in nature. A family that plays together stays together. Agent Zaria, your mission is to tell us some of the fun things families can do in Jamaica.
There are plenty of hotels with beautiful rooms, shops, restaurants, golf courses, and a wide range of water sports, including sailing as well as paddleboarding in Jamaica. Visitors can pay a visit to historic landmarks, enjoy beautiful scenery, and soak up some sun while lying on pristine beaches with turquoise blue water. They can also enjoy water sports, challenge themselves by climbing at least 6 of Jamaica's beautiful waterfalls, or make spectacular high dives off cliffs into pristine waters. They have the option to float past spectacular scenery while viewing local wildlife or go tubing down the White River. Still, others can go on food adventures and enjoy delicious Jamaican cuisine, including spiny lobsters. Most importantly, Jamaica is ideal for having a fun-filled family vacation. Nature lovers will fall in love with the Hope Botanical Gardens and Zoo in Kingston. It exposes visitors to a variety of exotic animals. Children over the age of 5 can get up close and personal with birds and other animals in the petting zoo. The Hope Zoo also breeds, and it's a sanctuary for the Jamaican iguana, once thought to be extinct. The adventurous can go to Mystic Mountain and zip through a rainforest or go bobsledding. Other outdoor adventures include interacting with dolphins in their natural habitat at Dolphin Cove. Or why not go on a safari? The Black River Safari allows you to sail through mangroves in search of crocodiles, exotic birds, flora, and fauna. A glass bottom boat tour is another exciting option for families. It's a great way to see, up close, the beauty that lies underneath the waters of Jamaica, including gorgeous reefs and tropical sea life. These are just some of the fun things that families can do in Jamaica. I'm Agent Zaria. Mission accomplished.
While hanging out with family is great, there are times you want some me time. Agent Cassidy, your mission is to find a clean, bright place us girls can have some me time while being treated like princesses.
Relax, recharge, reflect. Sometimes it's okay to do nothing. My friends and I are at a cute spa. It's time to get pampered. Tanisha, why a kids spa?
Well, a few years ago, when the owner would normally take her younger sister to the salon, she would love to be pampered. However, she never normally had fun while she was there with all the adults in the salon. So she realized that there was not a market for girls and pampering and stuff like that. So when it came to that, she decided to provide an establishment that provided that for girls.
Facials are bad things. What else do you offer?
So as well as facial, we offer manicures, pedicures, as well as styling, cornrows, and we do offer party packages. So you can definitely book your party in your next birthday. You can book your party right here.
I always feel like a princess.
Well, we do princess dress up here. So you get to choose your favorite princess dresses. And what we do, we dress you up, put your glamour makeup on, and we let you do a runway show. And we take a lot of pictures.
Cool. Do you only work by appointments?
No, we don't. We accept walk-in. However, we do encourage customers to come and book their appointments. However, mostly on weekends, we're very busy. So other than that, we're good.
Where are you located?
We're located at 22 Kensington Crescent in New Kingston.
My name is Princess Cassidy.
Agent Cassidy.
Mission accomplished.
Aunt Carol, there you have it. All missions successfully completed. Agent Gabriel, over and out.